Welcome to Face Studio 2, a revolutionary software that can make your face say anything you want at the touch of a button.
Looking at us, Sarah.
Stop it, please!
Hey everyone, it's Wildman. I hope you guys are doing alright. Check out the Christmas tree. We're getting into the Christmas season right now. And yeah, as of recent, the analog horror community has been, flourishing. We just got a new episode of Harmony and Horror, and now we just got a new Mandela Catalogue episode.
This night was different than the last. The woman would gaze up at the sky, but the brilliance and beauty of the stars were obscured by the man staring down at her.
An episode filled with a huge amount of lore, disturbing imagery, and Dave.
You know how it is.
But yes, before we get into this installment, please be sure to subscribe, as it would be great to have you here, as well as commenting sus. Doing that will help me a lot into, boosting me into the YouTube algorithm. Pretty crazy, honestly. Commenting sus has a lot of power, so if you could please do that, please. Also, real quick, I did want to give you guys a huge thanks from the bottom of my heart. We are very close to hitting 100,000, which is very crazy. Can't believe it, dude. So yes, from the bottom of my heart to you, in the spirit of the Christmas season, thank you. But yes, this video is going to be a long one, so with all of that out of the way, let's dive right into this delicious piece of analog horror.
In the beginning, the earth was created without form, as a spirit hovered over the face of the waters.
The episode begins by stating the lines "in the beginning," and as we've come to learn from the Mandela Catalogue so far, there are heavy Christian themes implemented into the entire series. Themes of Christianity with a dark twist on them. And this introduction is no different, as these are the first lines spoken in the Bible. More specifically, the first lines in the book of Genesis found within the Bible.
In the beginning, the earth was created without form, as a spirit hovered over the face of the waters.
And within this book, it is detailed how God created the world in 6 days, and rested on the last day, that being Sunday. And within the video, it details each day and what was created. By the second day, land was separated from water. The ocean and land were now 2 distinct locations, whereas before the entire earth was just covered with the ocean. And eventually we do get to a part where the first humans are created. And if you remember from Bible study, then you do remember that the first 2 people on earth, according to the Bible, were Adam and Eve.
On the 6th day, a man was created from the dust of the ground, followed by a woman to keep him company. They loved each other very much.
And right here is where the segment actually branches off from what was written in the Bible and takes on a more sinister approach. The segment continues and the day turns to night, and we are shown the words, "Awaken, my son," as told to us by the angel Gabriel.
Here, wake up, Joseph.
And as we've discovered in previous episodes, this angel is actually the devil, disguising himself as the angel Gabriel in order to deceive believers.
I am the angel Gabriel. I've come to bring good news.
And the devil, we're going to be referring to him as Gabriel, as that is the form that he is taking on. So Gabriel calls to Adam and awakens him from his slumber, and appears to have offered the forbidden fruit to Adam. However, while in the original text of the Bible, where Adam and Eve are just simply banished for eating the forbidden fruit, in this version something else happens to Adam. When Adam takes part in the forbidden fruit, something completely different happens. Adam starts to stand over Eve, obscuring her view of the night sky, with his face lacking any kind of expression, as if possessed to do something horrible. But before we can see what actually happens, the tape cuts out, and it is here where we are brought back into the world of Mandela County. A conversation between a person named O'Brien and Dave takes place before us.
Yeah, man.
Enough about me, though. How you been holding up?
I don't know. You know how it is. I'm sure you've seen the news. local businesses haven't really been doing so hot recently.
And as to who Dave is, he's a technician that works at Mandela Tech. And O'Brien is what sounds like to be a pastor who has just given a congregation to a crowd of people.
How'd that church gig go?
Oh, it was great. Got the whole congregation out of their seats during the last performance. Felt empowering, you know?
And for those of you who are unfamiliar to what a congregation actually is, essentially it's a group of people assembled to worship for religious purposes.
According to the other band members, that's never happened before. Made me feel real special.
And as the two exchange a little bit of back and forth, O'Brien mentions that Dave needs a job because his shop is, not doing too great. And so O'Brien tells Dave that he can always work with him at the church. But Dave kindly refuses, saying that he's not a man of God, and therefore wouldn't feel, right working at a church.
If you end up having to shut down, I can vouch for you to get a position here. They'll pay you much better than whatever the hell you're making down there.
I'm not a man of God, O'Brien.
Hey, no worries. You don't need to be a believer. You can always let me know if you change your mind.
And while this entire conversation is happening, an employee named Evelyn uncovers a tape in an old box. A tape signed by Detective Thatcher Davis, addressed to Dave, stating, "Same old procedure, drop off when you're done." And right here is where we're able to finally put the pieces together and realize that the person that was able to fix and work on the corrupted tapes was Dave. Thatcher was sending over these corrupted tapes to Dave in order to further his investigations on the alternates. So Dave and Detective Thatcher were working together. Evelyn, the employee, decides to investigate this tape even further, and in the back of the store there is a single TV, and she places the VHS inside, ignoring the warning on the TV. Because if we've learned anything from this series, avoid TVs at all costs, because turning those things on lets the intruder in. Also, another thing to note is that the VHS states that it's only intended for viewing by Mr. Lee, and looking at the description of this video, Mr. Lee is Dave, so his name is Dave Lee. The video that plays before us is the assessment video that we've seen in a previous episode, to see how your child reacts to the following sounds. And this is something that we're going to see later in the episode, so I'm not going to address it just yet. The tape cuts out and we're shown the perspective of Officer Davis, who is still facing the trauma inflicted upon him by the death of his partner, Warren, in the experience of coming face to face with an alternate that just completely copied him and then just walked away.
Seeing a perfect copy of you just walk away. Back out into the world.
The next segment in the video is about Sarah Heathcliff's recruitment for a partner.
Our next student comes from our very own Bythorne High.
Hello. I am Sarah Heathcliff, founder of the Paranormal Club at Bythorne High School. I look to do some private investigations and help some people out from the surrounding areas. I'm currently looking for a work partner to pursue this line of work with. You can contact me with the email shown on screen now.
And recalling from previous episodes, Sarah is the brother of Mark Heathcliff, the person that was killed when an alternate visited him, who he believed to be his friend Caesar, but it was just an alternate pretending to be him.
I have a gift for you. I have a present.
So Sarah's looking for a partner, and this is the start of the Bythorne Paranormal Society, with Sarah being the society's founder. So Sarah broadcasts this entire advertisement to the surrounding area, and the person that responds to her ad is none other than Adam Murray, a character we've seen before in Volume 3.
You've reached the Bythorne Paranormal Society. How may I help you?
Jonah and Adam conducting investigations in the Bythorne and Mandela County areas. But this takes place before Jonah would even join the team. So right now it's just Adam and Sarah.
Hey Sarah, I saw your video. I'd like to join you with your investigation stuff since I think that sounds pretty cool. I go to Workshaw High School, but I hope that's not too much of an issue. Also, I grew up in Mandela, so I have some ideas of places we can explore. Up to you, though. Hope to hear back from you.
And then we are shown Adam and Sarah conducting one of their first investigations in a place that Adam claims is abandoned, but Sarah is highly skeptical.
No way this place was abandoned, Adam.
Shh. Okay. Ready to get your mind blown? Look down that hallway, Sarah.
And it does appear that the two are at a crime scene, and the footage that we're watching is the footage that authorities got a hold of, based on the timestamps placed in the footage, which does lead me to believe that this is one of the first offenses that Adam does make, which would make sense at why in the future Adam and Jonah are wanted, because they're going and investigating active crime scenes. So it does make sense that the two are wanted by the FBI, because maybe they could have even taken something or tampered with the crime scene, which is a very big offense. Adam starts playing a recording of people screaming and tells Sarah to remain calm. The atmosphere is completely eerie, as Sarah has no idea what is going to happen, but Adam seems to know.
What's going on?
Don't you want to see?
I can't look. Please.
It's literally looking at us, Sarah.
Stop it, please.
The two eventually leave the home, and Sarah voices how she can never do something like that again, while Adam, on the other hand, was thrilled at their discovery.
No worries. We got it on video. You can look at it whenever you're ready. You got a crazy good shot, Sarah.
No. I'm not doing that ever again.
You're kidding.
I just need time, alright? If you're gonna keep doing these with someone, then you need someone else. I'll do everything else, I guess.
And this is where it starts making sense as to why Jonah was hired. Sarah, unable to, work under these circumstances and actually go to crime scenes, so she opted out to just be the technical support, while Jonah and Adam actually go to the crime scenes. Eventually 2 years pass, and the Bythorne Paranormal Society is still alive and conducting house calls, with Sarah working behind the computer on the technical side, and Adam and Jonah actually conducting the investigations in person. The next thing that we are shown are message logs that Adam has in his inbox, first from a person named Amanda, then a person named Tyler. We have a text from Jonah and 2 recent text messages from Sarah and Evelyn. And I think this is a good time to mention that Evelyn, the person that was working at the store, is someone that we have met before. When we dove into the Mandela County Police Department database, Evelyn was listed inside of there.
He was always the nicest guy up until we started the investigations of Jonah.
And from what we found, her and Adam were in a not so healthy relationship. So this text from her to Adam does make a lot of sense. And it does seem that the two are no longer together. She stated how since he started doing the investigations, he's changed. But Adam and Sarah then begin a conversation. The conversation goes as follows. I'm not bailing you out when the cops find you. They won't. They're all bark and no bite. Just got home. Did you hear your voicemail? No, I've been busy. How did the visit go? Do you want good or bad news first? Great. There's bad news. Jonah bailed, and I'm pretty sure he's dead. And based off of these texts, we can deduce that this conversation is taking place right after the events of Volume 2, right after Adam and Jonah went on a house call at a woman's house that reported she could still hear the meows of her dead cat humming throughout the house. And recalling from that episode, Adam did come face to face with the intruder in the basement, and during that episode, Adam and Jonah did get into a fight, which prompted Jonah to leave the scene in the car.
But Adam, if you walk down those stairs, you'd be joining her. And if by some miracle you come back out, I don't think you'd be yourself. And I'm telling you right now that I won't be here to confirm that. Well then just fucking leave then!
Jonah driving off, but being followed by the intruder through the radio of his car, and causing him to crash while driving. And off of this new information that we're given, it's assumed that Jonah is dead, which would make sense because he did get into a pretty nasty accident. But it is very odd considering how calm Adam is being in this entire situation. His coworker and, I'm assuming, his friend, who he'd spent so much time with, is now dead, and he doesn't seem to care at all.
Adam? Eventually someone will stumble across that. You just drove off?
Didn't really think it would be that big of a deal.
In the phone call with Sarah, Adam tells her that he left the home and walked around for a while in the cold winter night. That is until he stumbled upon the car that him and Jonah hijacked in Volume 2. And within that car was Jonah's body. Jonah was killed from that car accident that night. But Adam, instead of calling the authorities and mourning his friend, he simply leaves Jonah's body on the side of the road and takes the car for himself and drives home. Shortly after this, Sarah brings up how they're going to have to tell their viewers about this.
We have to tell our viewers, you know.
We? I think you mean you. You're the one that handles the online.
No, you!
And confirmed later on in the episode, the Bythorne Paranormal Society uploads their findings onto YouTube. Adam hangs up, feeling no remorse for his now deceased friend. The video cuts to the next segment, which is of Officer Thatcher Davis staring at the number of citizens in Mandela County. With each year that passes, less and less people inhabiting the desolate town. And Thatcher blames himself for this number. Unable to stop alternates, he's left a broken man, helpless to stop the threat that is slowly killing the town with each passing day. And in addition to this, Thatcher is also mourning his lost colleague, Officer Weaver. Officer Thatcher believing that he could have even saved Weaver if he hadn't been so scared in that moment.
And now you're dead because I was too fucking scared.
So essentially he's blaming her death on himself.
If nobody's there to call you crazy, would you ever find out?
We're shown Thatcher going to bed, but there is something keeping him awake. A visitor at his doorframe. Now it is very hard to see, but turning up the brightness on this image, we can see the face of what appears to be an alternate, stalking Thatcher as he sleeps. Perhaps even the face of his own alternate, toying with his mind. And in the next segment, we're met back with Dave Lee, who's having a conversation with Evelyn. And within this conversation, Dave actually fires Evelyn due to the store not making a profit and him not being able to pay his worker. But before Evelyn hangs up, she asks one question. She asks Dave about the TV that he has in his closet.
You have to take my word for it.
You're firing me?
I appreciate your loyalty so much, Evelyn. It's been a good run. Bye-bye.
Dave, wait. What's with the closet? The old TV? Why do you still...
Because no one in Mandela County should even have a TV. But Dave simply does not answer. And after this phone call, Dave calls O'Brien and takes him up on his offer for a job to work at the church.
Hey O'Brien. I think it's about time that I take you up on your offer.
The segment changes once again, and we're shown the alternate that copied Thatcher Davis. The alternate's face is completely distorted, with a poor attempt at completely copying Officer Thatcher's face.
This is Lieutenant Thatcher Davis. Seems like I made a mistake. Everything's clear here at the station. Calling off all units. Over.
Now, it's right here where we start to get into intense theory territory. The alternate that took a piece of Thatcher to copy him is now taking refuge in the police station, posing as Thatcher and able to mimic his voice perfectly. The alternate even sending out a retraction to the distress call that Thatcher had originally sent out.
Lieutenant Thatcher Davis, MCPD.
1018, requesting assistance from available workshop units.
This is Lieutenant Thatcher, Davis. Seems like I made a mistake. Everything's clear here at the station.
And since Thatcher has been in hiding since it happened, the alternate has successfully taken his place. While Thatcher mourns the loss of his friend and colleague Ruth Weaver, an alternate has taken control of the police department. Cutting back to the conversation between Adam and Sarah, Adam tells Sarah that he's finished with the memorial video for Jonah. However, what plays before us is extremely cryptic and hard to make out what is truly happening. The video starts off as normal, telling viewers about how Jonah has passed and to rate 5 stars and subscribe, which is the old method that YouTube used to be able to rate videos from a scale of 1 to 5. So this is just like a reference to old YouTube that they're using. But the memorial video isn't a normal video. It's live footage from the inside of a home with distortions all over the tape. It's clear that alternates have distorted this tape. But perhaps the most confusing and disturbing part of this entire little segment is this scene right here.
We got into a big fight over it, and he just told me some awful, terrible things that I just wish he had never told me.
I never said that. It's messing with my words. I don't know what's going on. It's not me. The computer, I swear. I'm not stupid. I never said that. The computer, I swear. Messing with my words. I'm not stupid, alright? I don't know what's going on. Messing with my words. I never said that. Shut the fuck up! I never said that. Messing with my words. I've had enough of you! Messing with my words. Please, just get the fuck out of my head!
So from this, there are a variety of theories stemming from this little segment. People claiming that Adam is an alternate but just doesn't know it, but I do want to get through the rest of the video before we start to jump to conclusions. The next segment of the video introduces us to a program called Face Studio, which is essentially deepfakes and requires 3 photos of you to actually work.
Welcome to Face Studio 2, a revolutionary software that can make your face say anything you want at the touch of a button. All we need from you is your personal details and 3 photos of your face, demonstrated on screen now.
Now this may be a bit of a stretch, but this could be somehow the base technology that alternates are using to replicate the faces of their victims, somehow using this technology to make it easier for them to copy the faces of their victims. Because as we've seen in previous volumes of the series, alternates do struggle to properly replicate their victims. However, with this new software in place, it would make it significantly easier for them. Having a 360-degree render of your face right in front of them gives them all that they need. The video also goes on to state that they keep your face in a database, but saying that the database will never be shared with anyone.
Once we have your photos, we will be able to save your facial profile to our database. We will never share your data.
However, if an alternate were able to make its way inside of this database, they'd have access to a full library of faces. They'd be able to replicate anyone they wanted, as long as they were in the database. However, as I said earlier, this is a bit of a stretch because we still don't know exactly how alternates are able to replicate humans. Because referring back to when Thatcher encountered the alternate, he said that it took something from him.
That thing took something from me. I feel different. Seeing a perfect copy of you just walk away. Back out into the world.
But it was never specified exactly what the alternate took. So he could have been just referring to his sanity, or he could have been referring to something that was actually physically taken from him in order for the alternate to copy him. He could have been referring to a piece of his body, something as little as a piece of his skin that the alternate took to properly replicate him. Of course, this is still a theory and we don't know exactly how alternates are able to replicate people. However, if they are able to do it simply by getting a good look at someone, then this software would prove to be very, very horrible for alternates to get a hold of. In the next segment, we're shown Evelyn walking into the police station, looking for Officer Thatcher Davis. But we know that Thatcher isn't there, but his alternate is. Next, we see a conversation between Officer Thatcher in his home and Dave Lee, the person that was fixing the corrupted tapes for Officer Thatcher.
I just think that I finally found peace.
So we're done.
No, look, man. I don't think you fucking get it. I don't know how to do
any of the shit you do for me.
How much of that was really worth it, though?
Going on to tell Thatcher that he needs to move on from the past that still haunts him, revealing to the audience, us, that it's actually been 17 years since Ruth was killed.
You need to learn how to accept things that you can't change. From 17 years ago, might I add. Find a new meaning in life, Davis.
So Thatcher has been trying to figure out what alternates are for 17 years, as well as mulling on his own mistakes and mourning Officer Weaver. The episode then goes on to follow Dave Lee as he's at church trying to accept the pastor's offer for a job.
I just got here. Could you unlock the front door, perhaps?
You're at the front.
But something isn't right with this scene. The sky turns black, and someone approaches. Gabriel reveals himself to Dave. And I'm gonna let this scene play out, as I do feel that it is very important to fully digest.
You were so close, David. You had it all figured out. The stage was set for you. Yet you still managed to follow the shepherd. Your existence has meant nothing. Only a matter of time before I move to your cop friend. He seems like an easy target.
You're not real. Not gonna accomplish anything.
Oh, David. You have already done all of my bidding for me.
And right after this, Gabriel strikes Dave and appears to have killed him, leaving his lifeless body on the ground. Back in the police station, Evelyn finds in one of the drawers a key and uses it to access a cabinet full of confidential information. And the information that she finds is on Adam Murray. And here it is revealed to us that the child watching the toddler stress video was Adam Murray, a stress video shown to us back in Volume 1. Because as we know, Adam's parents, Jude and Lynn, got a divorce, and Adam's father, Jude, became very absent after this divorce, having to be forced to even come visit his own son by the mother.
Swear to God, Lynn, if this is just an imaginary friend or something, I'm gonna lose it.
What do you mean? Do you realize how young he is?
Recalling Adam being afraid of a man in the closet and his father not believing Lynn or his child, claiming that it was just an imaginary friend, when in reality, it was the intruder. Adam's responses to the test are also very interesting. The paper reads, "Dear Lynn and Jude, your son Adam did not react to any audio or visual stimuli during the assessment. This may be a result of A, lack of basic intellectual capabilities compared to other children his age, or B, the result of the recent phenomenon occurring within the children of his age. If you wish to discuss further, please make a follow-up appointment and we can work something out. Have a great day." Now, this test was conducted by a psychiatrist named Dr. Jack Williamson, and Adam's parents most likely took Adam to the psychiatrist because of his paranoia that someone was in the closet. But this wasn't paranoia, there actually was someone inside. But after discovering these files about her ex-boyfriend, Evelyn then comes face to face with Thatcher's alternate.
Mr. Davis?
She subsequently pulls the emergency alarm. Although there's not much that will even do when the intruder is already in the room with her and will most likely not only take her life, but her face as well. That segment ends there, and the video switches back to Adam's phone. And Sarah is asking what that distorted footage was, asking if Adam was the one that edited that all in. But more importantly, Adam receives a message from an unknown number. Hello, we have been trying to contact Adam Murray. Is this you? Please confirm yes or no. But the number reveals itself to be the intruder and sends a message through Adam's phone. The final scene in the video states the following. I deceived him, the Mandela Prophet. We have their prayers and their records. It begins today, and the tape ends there. Now, from this entire episode, there is a lot to unpack, especially when it comes to Adam, because at this point in the series, the entire direction of the series has been building to revolve around Adam, who is the Mandela Prophet. Because ever since Adam was a child, there has been a connection between him and the intruder. While the intruder was taking children all over Mandela County, it was unable to take Adam. So Adam is immune to the intruder and thus was unable to be taken. And we've been shown this again and again as Adam has come face to face with the intruder as an adult, but is able to survive the encounter when, if he were a regular person, he would not still be alive. Although that's not to say that Adam has not been psychologically affected by these encounters. Every time they happen, they cause Adam to lose a bit of his sanity, unable to feel remorse for Jonah, and lashing out to his friends in rage. Adam is broken, battling internal battles as the intruder tries to wear him down with every encounter. Because Adam is the only thing that stands in the way of alternates and the devil Gabriel, so Adam must be eliminated. And so what I believe is happening is that the intruder is trying to deceive Adam into believing that he's an alternate, telling him that his skin isn't his and that he's not the real him. And so because the intruder cannot kill Adam himself, he's trying to convince Adam that his life is a lie and that he's actually an alternate, trying to psychologically push him over the edge and hopefully trying to get Adam to remove himself from the picture. The intruder is trying to get Adam to end his own life. But yes, that was the Mandela Catalogue Volume 4. I hope you enjoyed. Please do not forget to subscribe. This was a lot of fun. Also, don't forget to like the video and comment. Sus. But yes, feel free to let me know your thoughts and theories as well. Because again, all of the stuff that I'm saying right now are just theories as well. So don't take it too to heart. There's still room to theorize. These are just my thoughts. But yeah, that is pretty much everything. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. Happy holidays, man. Please stay safe and, enjoy the Christmas season. I'll see you later. Bye.
When I stumbled over a rock and fell apart. Do you think you can help me get back together? You...